Hey everyone, so this is another in my series of my frunk sessions. The difference in this one is that we couldn't sit in the frunk. It was too late, it was dark, so we had to sit inside the car. So we're not sitting in the frunk like, you know, this one or even this one here where I was doing my frunk sessions. So this time we're sitting in the car, we're having a conversation about Martin and his trip in an electric car going from Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, all the way down to Ushuaia, southernmost city in the world. Very interesting conversation, and I have more details in the description. Please find his YouTube channel, click subscribe, and follow his other social media accounts so you can follow his journey. Hope you enjoy this. If you have more questions for Martin and his trip and his team, post them in the comments. And I'm hoping to do a second interview with him just before his trip, maybe in about another month or so. So if you have questions, please post them and I'll get those to him and we'll do another session with Martin. Hey guys, so I'm here, I'm in San Francisco area. I'm meeting with Martin, who is getting ready to take an epic road trip. So I want him to tell you what he's going to do. Where are you going to go? What's the trip?
Well, I start in June. We're going from Alaska to Patagonia, driving a Tesla. So it's going to be an amazing trip between 6 and 7 months, all across North America, Central America, and South America.
So he's starting at the northernmost point you can get to by road in North America, which is Prudhoe Bay.
Prudhoe Bay, that's correct.
And then, I might pronounce it wrong, Ushuaia.
Ushuaia. The last part.
Southernmost city in the world, at the tip of Argentina, Tierra del Fuego, is Ushuaia. I've been there before, years ago. But yeah, so he's going to drive that whole trip in, what are you taking?
We're taking 2 Model X. We have my wife, our little kid Mateo, and me in one. And then we have another Model X, like the production team. But they started like the production team. Now they're the core team. It's Oliver and Tutti. Oliver is basically a filmmaker, and Tutti, she takes care of the environmental side of the trip. This is basically to create awareness for climate change. And so having someone who is focused on that is very, very important for us.
Okay, and that was going to be my other question. Why are you doing this? And it's for
it's basically to
build awareness.
We want to yes, it's like basically to create awareness for climate change. But okay, I think we want to prove that this trip it's possible today in an electric car.
Right.
Okay. It's not easy. We have a lot of challenges to solve. We will have a lot of problems. But it's possible. Okay. So this trip is called the Pan American Highway, has been done in every vehicle you can imagine, by foot, by bicycle, by motorcycle,
right.
Big V8 motorhomes, but hasn't been done on like an SUV, on an electric car. So we want to prove that this is possible today.
Okay. Yeah. And along the way, anything you want to accomplish during the trip?
Well, we have 2 sides of the trip. One is basically adventure and sports. I think we're all kite surfers, paragliders, surfers, divers. So we have an adventure side of the trips. And we're going to invite people who practice professional that's supposed to join us in part of the trip. Okay. And then we have an educational part. We're gonna meet with governments, we're gonna meet with schools, and we're gonna try to meet people and NGOs that are working, are doing amazing jobs in the environment, but their voice is not heard enough. So we're gonna use these people who are very powerful in social media because of their their amazing kite surfers, right, or paragliders, and you use that powerful social media to help spread the voice of these people doing amazing job for the environment.
So getting governments involved, talking about trying to electrify the trip down through South America.
Absolutely.
Too.
Like if you see the map of where can we charge easily, it's basically the US, southern of Canada, some parts of Mexico, but in the rest we're pretty early on. And if we can at least, I don't know, put a seed in their minds that they
Right.
should do something about this. That would be very, very important for us. If we can convince one government to work to work towards this sustainable future, I think that would be enough for us.
Right. Because we know electric vehicles are down there.
They are.
We look at PlugShare app, and there's people down there. And the problem is, you go to some places, whether it's a hotel or whatever, and they're like, well, nobody comes through here in electric cars.
Oh, yes.
Like,
There's almost no electric
Yukon
cars.
territory, northern BC,
Oh, yeah.
like nobody comes here. I was like, the reason they're not coming here is because there's no place to charge.
Absolutely.
Because they're like, why should we put a charger in?
Yeah.
They don't come here.
At least in Canada, we have they have RV parks. So
Right.
that's also a very big part of this. That is
Right.
having high amperage, 30 amps, 50 amps. But in the rest of Latin America,
Right.
very, very slow charging. So we're not doing this in this is not a speed race. We're not going fast. We're doing it slow because we want to, but because we have to, because sometimes it will take up to 5 days to charge the car.
Right. Well, at the slowest rate, I think it's 60 hours, 5 miles of charge per hour to get,
Yeah.
So,
But
so
you know,
3 days.
Some places you don't. If some places you don't mind because you
Right.
have a lot of things to do.
Right.
Some
right.
places, oh, we're gonna have to read a lot.
Right. Bring
Talk
books.
a lot. Bring your.
You'll have no access to cell signals or Wi-Fi.
no
in
social
places,
media,
so-
no
right,
internet.
right.
Yeah.
So bring board
But
games.
Family time. Yeah, it's amazing.
You know, I was talking to someone else about this yesterday. A long time ago, when probably you were a child, before internet and cell phones and all that, you had to find ways to entertain yourself
Yeah.
on road trips. And we've lost that ability. And this is a great way to get back to just disconnecting from
Yeah.
all of that sort of you're hit with so much information all the time through social media.
Oh, and yeah,
It's
then,
overwhelming.
We have the word in our phones today, and,
Yeah.
and having be able to access so easily to information, it's kind of addictive. I think.
Right.
I think I am a little addicted to my phone, by the way,
Right.
and well, having some free time of the cell phone, I think is not going to be bad.
Right. Well, at first it may be difficult, but for me, the most memorable times is when I have no technology. I'm out like in Denali Wilderness for 3 weeks then, no technology.
Yeah.
No cell phones, nothing. All I had was a map and a compass.
Wow.
And those times when you don't have any outside influence, it's just you and nature and you're out there, to me, those have been the most memorable,
That's amazing.
most impactful times.
Yeah.
And you should get that. In South America, you have plenty of opportunity for that.
Yeah, yes. I think even though I think Northern Canada, I think will be the hardest part.
Really?
Yes. I don't know why. I don't know if at least with charging, that's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
As hard as in South America.
Okay.
At least Central America, because Peru to the south we have to 20 volts, so it's a little bit.
Okay.
Talking about the speed of charging, of course, that tells how much we have to wait.
Right. See, for me, I'm okay with Alaska, Yukon. I mean, way up
Okay,
north.
perfect.
I'm okay with that. I'm worried about
very
South
good.
America.
Oh,
So-
we will know.
Right. When I get ready to do my road trip in the Cybertruck, I will just follow your lead.
Oh, excellent!
There you
Yes,
go.
I
You did,
like
yeah.
that. I hope this is the first trip of several. So not for us,
Right.
but for the rest of other
Yeah.
people who were doubting about this. Okay, it's possible, so let's do it. And I think if more and more people start doing this kind of trips, electric cars will be the normal.
Right.
And I think that's a better word. That's what
Right.
we want.
And I started to say something earlier about getting people to put in chargers. One thing that folks have done here is try to convince hotels to put in
Yeah,
a
destination chargers.
destination charger. And there was a group that were actually helping to pay for it.
Oh wow,
They were doing fundraising, and they would as a charitable thing, and they would pay to put these chargers in.
that's very good to know.
In the early
and-
days, there was no charging network. The original Roasters that came out in 2009.
Yeah, no, at home.
There was no charging network anywhere. And there's a group of people that were helping electrify areas
Wow.
so they can drive their roasters around. And they donated. And that's what you'll find in the community, are people are willing to help. Because we know the Tesla chargers are all the way to Acapulco, Mexico.
Mhm.
after that it gets more complicated.
Well, having yes, Ciudad de Mexico, they have some superchargers in the south, and then after that, there's nothing.
Right. So even finding people who's willing to help put in like level 2 chargers at their hotel or whatever, and educating and trying to electrify that route. And the thing is, it's that whole thing, build it and they will come. If there is a route, more people will do it.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah. And you're kind of out there kind of laying the groundwork, I guess, to try to get that done.
Yes. I think it's doable. Like that. By the way, I'm doing with my wife Anna and our little kid Mateo. So this is not like a crazy trip.
Right.
We think it's not a crazy trip, but it's not going to be easy sometimes.
Right,
okay,
right.
But that's part of the challenge, and that's part of the fun too.
And Mateo is 6 months old.
Yeah, he will be 9 when we start the trip.
He'll be 9 months old. Yeah.
He's going in.
So that's gonna be a challenge. Lots of challenges on this trip.
Oh yes.
So you feel pretty confident in taking this trip, because there's a lot of people I talk to who are afraid of anything outside the U.S. They're afraid of Mexico. They're afraid of Central America. They're afraid of South America. And they're like, no, I would never do that. I would never go down there. They're afraid to go across the border into Mexico, into towns. But here you are. You're taking your family and your little child.
Yes, we know some parts of the trip are a little dangerous. Okay, and by the way, Anna and Mateo might not do some small part of the trip, but most of the trip it's normal. And if you travel during the day, and we're doing a trip, it will be known by the government. We're gonna meet with the government, so I don't think there's always risk, but there's always risk
with everything in life.
But it's if you take some measurements to take care of yourself and not driving at night, and I think it's okay. It's not going to be hard.
And and that's why I try to tell people, because I rode a bicycle, so I'm totally exposed.
That's crazy.
I am in I went through the guerrilla stronghold of Colombia in the Putumayo region, and so it's like they could have kidnapped me or whatever, but I didn't have a problem. I traveled in the day, early afternoon, I'd stop, and I wouldn't go out at night. Same precautions I would use in parts of the U.S. too. There's some very dangerous areas here.
And after you get into this adventure road tripping, I don't know if this word, I can use that word, but it's amazing how many people do this. And people from all over the world, they're traveling all Central America, all South America. And of course, there's some problems sometimes, but everywhere we have some problems sometimes.
Exactly.
So it's not, I don't think it's more dangerous to do this because it's Central America or Latin America.
Right. And what I find is, for me, I feel like there's certain areas in the U.S. it's more dangerous to be in than traveling through South America.
That's true.
And especially if you're on a journey, on a trip, you'll find people who are supportive of you.
Absolutely.
And there's so much social media. I use couchsurfing.com. I met people along the way who are so supportive. They wanted to meet me and they helped me along the way. And that's what you find. That's the great thing about social media now, is that you will encounter somebody in advance before you get to the town. They're waiting for you. To get there, and they want to help you out.
And normally people wants to help.
Exactly.
Like if you give them the chance, they will be glad to help.
And that's default behavior of humans in general.
Absolutely. I think I think some people don't, but they're the fewer.
Right.
Right. We're excited to start this trip.
Yeah. So the mission is, restate that again, is
to raise awareness for climate change.
And
basically to prove that this trip is possible today with an electric car.
Okay. And will you be taking any brochures, flyers with you as handouts?
Well, we'll have a website. It's called electricamericas.com.
Okay. And I'll put that here in the description.
And we have the typical social media accounts, basically Facebook and Instagram. Okay. And we don't have yet a YouTube channel.
A carbon-neutral future is not only possible, it's necessary to avoid catastrophic climate change. Electric Americas seeks to demonstrate, by driving across 2 continents, the power of electric cars running on renewable energy to achieve that goal.
Is there anything else you want anybody to know about your trip? Or
if you learn that we're traveling near you, let us know. We would like to meet you. Yeah, that would be
All right.
amazing.
So I will try to keep it updated. I'll keep reposting and tweeting
Excellent.
stuff along the way. When he comes back through, coming south, I should be still in Oregon somewhere, and I think
we'll meet.
we'll meet up and we'll plan some events around it, and maybe you'll get some of us following you doing a caravan.
That would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, well, stay tuned for more updates, and thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you. It was so amazing to have you here in the Bay Area. Come back soon.
All right, thanks, and thanks for watching the channel. Please click subscribe. Thank you.
Bye.